What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Pure Evil MMA. I have another special guest, another girl from G.L.O.W, my favorite group of girls to have on the show. And like I said, in case you guys are tuning into this podcast and you want to hear some more from the G.L.O.W girls, well, we're going to have a playlist set up for you guys on the Pure Evil MMA channel. But starting today's show off, we have Melody Trouble Vixen, MTV from the original G.L.O.W. How you doing, MTV?
Woohoo! I'm doing well. Happy Saturday.
Yeah, you know what? It's been kind of rainy here on the East Coast. What's it like over there on the West Coast today?
Hot, hot, hot.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Well, I'm so happy to be joined by the rock and roll queen. And you know what? We had a couple of girls on so far. We've had Roxy Astor on, and now we're having a couple more girls on in the future. And you guys are all going to be a part of this thing called the Afterglow. And I was actually just looking it up on IMDb, and it actually said that the release date was supposed to be a couple of months ago. So just to update everybody really quick, what are you guys aiming for there for a release date?
Well, yeah, that project that's on IMDb is actually not the one we're doing now. That one didn't work out. So we have the Afterglow musical, which is the play that's coming out, and the current project we're working on now is under development. And it is really fantastic, and we really can't talk about it because it's amazing. And we're kind of just, loose lips sink ships, so not a whole lot we can say about it other than hold on to your hats.
And you know what? The little information that you guys have released so far has been exciting. I saw you guys hanging out with with Shatner. What was that like?
That was Mr. William Shatner is an amazing individual. He's, we're no longer working with Shatner Universe. Like I said, that deal didn't quite work out. Okay. But we got to meet him. I got to meet him twice and hang out with him. And along with several other of the original G.L.O.W girls, and what a wonderful guy he is. He did not disappoint.
So So you know what is the date for this musical? Of course, we've had Roxy on before. We've also had a couple other girls on. And as this kind of goes on, it seems like you guys are really blossoming again. You guys are also coming back into, the retro. You guys are all being reunited. Is that kind of an exciting experience for you to kind of, be with all the girls again and have kind of a tighter bond now with the Netflix girls as well, I saw?
Yes, it is. It's wonderful. We got to meet Allison Brie and Betty Gilpin and a bunch of them when we got invited to WWE Raw. Raw. It was No Mercy. And we were backstage and we met them. And they're all very, very, very welcoming and charming and gracious. And I had an amazing time with them. And what I like about what we're doing now is that it's not only retro, but it's new. We're building on the foundation of our bonds and moving forward with new things and new shows. And we've been working on, Roxy created Afterglow about 5 years ago, and we've been in production, producing different shows ever since. It went from stage play to cruises where we vacation with our fans, the family. Shout out to them. I love them. They're amazing people who I enjoy hanging out with, for an entire week. And it's different than other cruises where you have celebrities. Usually on those, they just make an appearance every once in a while, but we vacation with them. We're there the entire time with them, having advanced shows and dining with them and going on shore excursions. And that has been fun because it's been adventures. And now we're moving on to stage plays, the Afterglow, the musical, which is going to be so much fun. That is in pre-production right now.
Yeah, the California girl was telling us all about that, and it seems like you guys are going to have some drag queens as well, which kind of fits the role here.
Yes, they're playing our younger selves, and they're singing as well as we are singing, so it's just fun. Pardon me. We went over a treatment we had a production meeting where we went over the treatment a couple weeks ago, and it was so much fun.
So you know what, you were just talking about Allison Brie, and I actually saw that on TMZ.
Oh yes.
what was that like meeting them? Because here you guys are having them, release Netflix, and season 2 is about to come out, which we're gonna get into that. We're gonna dive into your backstory as well, but just kind of brush the surface here of what's been going on recently. What was that experience like? Because it's like they're playing you, so is it kind of surreal?
Well, it is surreal, mostly because they're not playing us. They're it's kind of an amalgam. It's sort of a nod to us. I mean, it's still weird to me when I hear them say that they are the gorgeous ladies of wrestling, because we are. That's me. But and their acting is first rate. I think the acting in the show is it's very well acted, and the show is very well made. It's still weird though, because the stories are not our stories. The stories are their own stories that they've completely made up, and the characters, even though there's nods to characters, they don't play our experience. So, which is fine, because then we can tell our experience. I think it would also even be weird having someone actually play me and actually, do my experience. But you know what? Actually, take that back. I'm gonna have a drag queen do it, and I love that. It's gonna be fun. It's still weird when somebody says. It would be like if somebody said, "We're doing the Evil Eddie family story," and then they made your family all different people and didn't tell a thing that happened in your life. You're going, wait a minute, how could this be the Evil Eddie's family story?
Well, you know what? I think they did a really good job for the people who weren't familiar with, G.L.O.W, that weren't, I was born in 1989. So,
Yeah.
I loved wrestling when I was growing up. I did my first interview at 7 years old with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, it's been such a big role in my life. And I feel like you girls opened up a lot of doors for, the Total Divas where they are now. And I think you're getting more credit now for that from, the generation that didn't get to see what you girls were all about. Are you kind of seeing that?
Well, we changed the face of sport for women. We did.
100%.
Did not just wrestling, but now women were more accepted in all sports, and there were women's leagues now. And I mean, shortly thereafter, there was the women's basketball league, and they all started. And I'm glad that we were able to do that. And I'm also glad that people are recognizing and honoring that. It was one of the best moments of my life when the Cauliflower Alley Club gave us the Women's Wrestling Award and inducted us, the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, into the Cauliflower Alley Club Hall of Fame. And, it was a proud moment for me, and I am so grateful that happened, because it was Albert, my beautiful friend Albert, Mr. Outrageous, who told me at a CAC seminar that, we were talking about the young wrestlers and that generation, the ones coming up, and he said, most of these people who want to get into wrestling won't get into wrestling, let alone have their place in wrestling like we do, and have their place in history like you do. And it just, this big light bulb went on. I went, oh my God, I do have a place in history for being a part of the very first all-women's wrestling show. And that really made me appreciate what I got to do, which was, mostly just right place, right time, looking into acting and getting in the right place at the right time.
So what that kind of segues into, how did this all start for you? I mean, how did you hear about Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling when you went in for that audition?
Well, I'm an actress, and I was in the casting office for completely other. I was going for a commercial audition, and the G.L.O.W audition just happened to be going on, at the same time, and I signed my name up. I asked the receptionist if this was an open call, and she said it was, so I signed my name up and went in and talked to Matt Simber.
What was that like? Like, looking around the room, going back in your mind right now. Bring us through what that room was like. What kind of girls were in there? Were there a lot of other actors along, or did girls?
No. Well, the casting office was full of actors because there was several auditions going on. It was a very busy casting office, and so what I liked to do when I got into a casting office was to just see what was going on, because people aren't really paying that much attention to, who's there and who's supposed to be there or not. And I usually just speed up. If I see something that I could possibly be right for, I would usually just sign my name, whether I'm supposed to be there or not, and go audition. That really increases your odds of getting something. But, pardon me, I was, really, I thought about, I was familiar with G.L.O.W. And I was thinking, well, it's a chance at a principal part to be, a principal player on a television show that runs twice a week. And, everyone's a star. So why not? So I did. I went and talked to Matt and showed him my audition book and, the pictures. And I was already an athlete. I had participated in a lot of athletics growing up. So I was, 24 years old. And I had, paddled in a Hawaiian outrigger canoe club. So I was, in pretty good shape. Very, very young, size 3, in shape. And after talking with me, he invited me to come audition, to come to the training camp that they were holding in Las Vegas. So I went. Now that was something else, because there had to be 100 women there when I got there. And that's where I met Lightning, and we became close friends, because she is and was still a little brat. and we had fun together. It was a great time.
Out of this experience, who did you grow closest to?
Oh, let's see. Lightning was a close friend, and so was Jailbait. Those were Corporal Kelly II.
And you know what?
Yeah, Hollywood and Godiva became friends too. Oh, Mountain Fiji. Oh my God. I loved Mountain Fiji. She was amazing. That woman was up for anything. She, we'd get together to, because we had a TV show to do. We had to be entertaining. We had to be outrageous. So we'd talk about what kind of a match we wanted to do. And, I wrote a lot of really crazy, like Loser Does Laundry and the Caribbean Cruise match and all these wonderful premises. And we would come up with, she says, let's do something like a contest where we dare each other or something. I'm like, how about Loser Does Laundry? She's like, oh yeah, we can bring our laundry to the ring, and I can have lava and we can pour soap all over each other, and you can put this big old washtub on my head, and I can throw you out of the ring, and she just wanted to do everything. And I loved working with her.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to get an interview with Mountain Fiji.
I know.
She passed away not too long ago, guys, and it really broke my heart when I watched the documentary that they did on you guys for Netflix when you guys started singing the G.L.O.W. song. I mean, I cried twice watching that. It was so heartbreaking.
I was watching that. I'm going, dang! It was very touching. They did Brad Thomason and Brett did an amazing job telling our story with heart. Yeah, the documentary. G.L.O.W, the story of the gorgeous ladies of wrestling, is a really good documentary, and it is on Netflix now. And that really does tell our story with heart.
And you know what? Here I was, like I said, I didn't really know about Gorgeous Lady Wrestling. My uncle told me about it. Actually, after I watched the documentary and had all these stories, my co-host had all these stories about watching you guys, and the way I stumbled upon you guys was this documentary on Netflix, and I too thought they did an amazing job there. But they played they didn't just follow one storyline. I really like how they got into the industry, and there was one moment in the documentary where Tina Ferrari goes, there's a part of me that's really mad at the industry. Is there a little bit of that in all of you girls?
No, as a matter of fact, I absolutely loved LOVED, capital underline 3 times, my time at G.L.O.W. I loved everything I did. I had so much fun. I mean, it would have been nice to have been paid better. That would have been good. But, I don't have any resentment. I got all of my starts. I learned how to write, how to produce. Matt Simber is a genius, and he knew what he was doing. And anyone who showed aptitude and wanted to do something, he would teach you. You could learn. He's a world-class filmmaker and a visionary, and he's done a lot of firsts. And G.L.O.W, he likes doing stories about strong women. He did Hundra, and they made Xena was kind of like a copy of Hundra. Hundra was just a movie, but they did the TV series, and they based a lot of it on Hundra. And I learned how to do a lot of things, and I've written with Matt, several times. I've written 2 shows for him, and I just learned how to work the camera, because when you're in the ring, you have to really pay attention to everything. You have to pay attention to what your body is doing, what everyone else. You may be in the ring with 3 people, 1 person, or 30 people, so you have to know what everybody's doing, where they are, what's going on. If there's a chainsaw or fire or something in the ring, you look at it so that you know what's going on with that. Those are the rules. If there was any serious weapon like that, you all have to look at it. But then you also have to remember what you're supposed to be doing, what's coming next, where the cameras are, because if you suffer with your head down into the mat, no one's going to see it. Your head has to be up; it's got to be into the camera. So you have to know where those are as well. So it's a very practiced art, and it's something you have to be serious about and learn and enjoy. Which from the first 5 minutes in the ring, I was hooked. I was bit by the wrestling bug and absolutely hooked, and loved every minute. Still love every minute of it.
What's been going on with David McLean? Is he still around?
Absolutely. Actually, he's doing WoW just got a new series of WoW just got picked up.
So congratulations for him. I mean, what were your experiences like? Being that age and being on TV. I mean, did you get a lot of reaction from fans? Did you get a lot of fan mail? What was the reactions like during the time?
Are my favorite part. Almost as much as wrestling, I love the fans. We have the best fans on earth. We call our fans the family because they're more than fans. They're not quite blood, but they're people we love. So they're the family. And my favorite part was talking to them afterwards, after the matches, talking to them, signing autographs, hanging out with them. They're beautiful people, and I'm so appreciative that 30 years later, they're still with us. They still support us. It's amazing to me. I'm very grateful for that, and so excited with what we're doing now. And I wish I could talk more about it, but I can't because we're in the middle of putting it together.
Well, you know what?
It'd be amazing.
At the time, you guys were actually on a lot of talk shows. What was that like?
Well, it was fun. Game shows, too.
Like what? What shows were you guys on, to promote?
Well, Family Feud. There was this one, it was some kind of dating show. I can't remember quite what it was called, but it's not even on now. But there were other shows. That was fun. We did Sally, Jesse, and Raphael. I got to wrestle Sally, and she was an amazing sport. She was really good.
Did it get scary at moments? Like, was the crew around you being like, "Be careful, that's Sally Jesse"?
No, she got in the ring and just was...
Get in there!
She just was ready to do it. She was amazing. I had so much fun with her. Except her hip bone almost broke my nose. Yeah. She, when you're tumbling off somebody, you're supposed to, why we can fly is because we lift our own weight. And rolling off someone, her hip bone connected with my nose. And, it's a good thing that I could take a shot or two because,
There's been some brutal injuries that have actually happened in G.L.O.W. I mean, you guys can say what you want about wrestling or the WWE or whatever, but there's been arms broken, like, pretty badly amongst you girls. There was one case that I saw where, I forgot who it was, but her arm got snapped completely backwards.
Wow. So when Susie Spirit dislocated her elbow.
That's who it was, Susie Spirit.
Yes, the headhunter. They said it was an accident. I don't know. You make up your mind. But, I mean, her knee, I believe it was an accident. I don't believe she intentionally hurt her. But her knee trapped her arm during a sunset flip. And it just separated. Of course it would. You know?
Insert clip here. I'm going to insert that clip here for people to see because it's very cringy. Did you ever get worried about anything like that ever happening to you?
I actually did injure my knees right before our second tour. And it was the one split second. That's why I tell everybody who's doing sport, always pay attention to what you're doing. I was thinking about what was coming next. I jumped off the top of the turnbuckle and landed in the ring. I was supposed to land light. I landed heavy, and I sprained both my knees with an impact sprain. But I didn't stop because there was no way I was not going to do that tour. You know,
yeah.
So I wrestled that whole tour with sprained knees. I taped them up under my tights. You know, I tried to make it, you know, so nobody noticed, but that was awful.
And you know what? That's a part of the sport. It still happens today. You know, even with the divas. So, you know, what's your relationship like with the WWF at the time during the 80s? I mean, you know, I even seen Matilda the Hun on talk shows, you know, calling out Hulk Hogan and stuff. I mean, what was the relationship like between the two organizations?
They didn't. Vince always liked us, but some of the wrestlers didn't like us, but most of them did. You know, most of them, you know, it's all the same business. It's just like anywhere, at school, at work. There's going to be people you get along with. There's going to be people you don't get along with. Most people, you know, I've always been able to get along with most people because that's my personality. You know, even though I play a bad guy on TV, you know, I'm a pretty reasonable, level-headed person. I'm usually the voice of reason. You know, I just love the business. I love putting on a show. I love writing. I love producing. I love acting, and I love wrestling. And it was all so much fun. Sports entertainment at its finest. We crossed tours a couple times it was WWF at the time. And, you know, we met Sam Houston and, you know, met a couple other people like at restaurants and things because we were both in town at the same time. And it's funny because we were using the same venues too. So we would leave messages for them on the whiteboards and things.
That's pretty funny.
Love from G.L.O.W, you know, stuff like that.
Well, we were just talking about Tina Ferrari, who actually went on into the WWE as the first female champion.
Ivory.
And, you know, everybody remembered, like, my uncle was a huge fan of Ivory, and I always remember him talking about her when I was a kid. And like I said, I was always about WWF, and a big thing about it was the action figures. Now, here's the thing. There's an action figure of you?
We make, it's a custom action figure.
Yeah,
they're not real ones. There's custom. You know, they're handmade, and yeah, it's pretty funny. I love it.
How do we get our hands on one of those?
Well, I might make you one if you'd like one. People can email me at it's melodytroublevixen@outlook.com, or just private message me on Facebook and we can talk about it.
So moving forward, you know, a big thing, you know, that's a collectible. So I was talking about this in my last interview with the California girl. We were talking about, you know, how it's kind of become a cult classic now. Are you seeing a lot of you know, retro people come out and kind of represent G.L.O.W now that kind of came out of the woodworks that are trying to be a part of it that, you know, maybe weren't there day one, but still here they are, you know, supporting you guys. Are you seeing a lot of that?
Mostly it's the fans. You know, we have the world's greatest fans. It's the fans who are out there still loving us and still, you know, promoting us and putting up the fan signs and on Facebook. You know, it's been social media started. First, they started doing chat rooms, and we started connecting with some of the fans there. And then there was MySpace, and we connected with people. And then when Facebook came up, it all exploded. Now we all found each other.
Yeah, I was seeing like Matilda the Hun doing like private birthday sessions or something like that. That was pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, everybody, you know, does their own thing in their own way because there was was 60 of us that from the 100 or so that were at the auditions, it went down to 30 core women, good and bad, 15 good, 15 bad, and there have been 60 something of us that have gone through the through G.L.O.W. And I think I was on 54 shows. Hollywood did 104. And I think Fiji did the same amount. But, whether you were, however long you participated in G.L.O.W., I mean, there was a couple flashes in the pan, but most people made an impact, with their character and with what they did.
So Afterglow, I want to talk a little bit about Afterglow before we end the interview. You guys have been doing a bunch of different things. And I don't want to get too deep into it because I don't really know what it's about. I've kind of kept my distance from it, but you guys are have been a part of the Vagina Monologues?
Yes, but we did. We do a lot of charity work, and I try to do as much. If I can lend my name to something that raises money for something, the Vagina Monologues. It's a production. It was the 20th anniversary of when they first came out, and Sheena Metal she's a local talk show radio host and she knows almost every celebrity there is, and she organized the performances of the Vagina Monologues for City of Joy. City of Joy is a organization in the Congo that they have medical care and they teach women how to be leaders. These women that have had their villages devastated, rape is a weapon of war there, and they decimate the villages so that they can steal the natural resources like diamonds and minerals and even wood from the trees, and these people who live there, by right it's theirs, but if they decimate the population there. And so these women can go to City of Joy and receive mental and emotional and physical help from doctors, and also be educated and earn degrees, and where they can become leaders in their community and rebuild their communities. And I was very proud to be a part of that, to help fundraise for that. But we do fundraisers for shelters and animal shelters and cancer and St. Jude's, and we do that. Now, Afterglow is, instead of just trying to relive G.L.O.W., we are original G.L.O.W. girls who are together now, and we do shows, any kind of show we can think of. Like I said, we started out with the live Afterglow fan party, which was an interactive show with the fans, and then we moved on to the Afterglow fan party at sea, which was an entire week vacation with us, which we did shows every night. We had a gong show. We had a masquerade ball. We had an 80s prom night. We had just different things, games, scavenger hunts, adventures in Honduras, and the shore excursions, rainforest river tubing, and just all kinds of fun.
My last question about the Afterglow thing is, I saw this challenge go out with Roxy Astor. What is this challenge of Drop the Mic?
Oh, that was for these wonderful young ladies who are improv actresses, made a show called Glam, and it was the gorgeous ladies of arm matches, and they did a whole comedy improv show based on G.L.O.W., where they had wrestling characters, and they did arm wrestling, and they were so funny. We saw their show twice. It was hilarious. And they have a rap that they do, glam, 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 glam. Welcome to our improv show, completely done in the style of G.L.O.W. Glam, 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 glam. It's so funny. And so we were going to do a wrap-off with them, but I guess they can't make it to our Netflix viewing party on Friday.
So, yes, that is the last thing we needed to discuss, is Season 2 of G.L.O.W. Where are you going to be? Are you going to be at Roxy Astor's house? Because
yes, I'm going to be at Roxy's.
She's having a viewing party for everybody out there to know. Are you also going to be live tweeting at Eileen MTV O'Hara for the fans? Or the family?
I usually do Facebook Live.
Okay.
That's what I do. I stream. So, yes, I will be streaming live.
Directly after the first episode?
Well, while it's going on, we do the whole party. I stream the whole party, man. We do in and out the whole party.
Where can people find that? Just
on my Facebook page.
And are you guys going to be sharing that, like your opinions of what you thought of the episode and rate it?
Yes, we did that last year. We're gonna do it again. Have fun. Watch the mirth and merriment, the antics and shenanigans.
So if this goes on to a season 3, I mean, I keep saying this. I think it would only be right to have you girls on, making cameos. Do you think that will happen?
I am not opposed to that.
You think that might happen maybe if season 3 rolls around?
I can't say because I don't know if they would because, like I said, they're doing their own stories and their own characters.
Yeah.
If they do, I'm happy to. If not, whatever. It doesn't bother me because we have plenty of stuff going on with Afterglow. So,
this is just.
I'd love to do it, but yeah.
This has just been so exciting watching all of this and learning about some of your stories here. And I want to thank you so much for joining me on Pure Evil MMA. This is what I'm really trying to do. I'm trying to get a playlist of every one of you girls, as many as we can get on, and bring that to the fans. And you guys are also going to be doing something very similar to that, which you guys need to check out. We keep talking about the Afterglow and also this web series as well, which is pretty much the same thing, correct?
Oh, the Afterglow. I have a web series. Yes, I did. I have a show on there. I only was able to get one episode out so far. It's called The Afterglow, and it's episode 101 cruising, and it's on my YouTube channel.
So we'll actually link that down below for you guys to simply quickly find that and subscribe to the channel. You guys can find all the Glow matches, all the original Glow matches, right on YouTube, right?
I don't know if it's all of them, but it's sure a whole lot of them.
So if there's one fight that you would like fans to go back and watch, which one would it be with you?
My MTV versus Ninochka when she has turned Benedict Arnold and she went good. And that's where we do our superplex. It's a really good match. I even get to dance on her face. It's fantastic.
Thank you so much for joining me, MTV. I'm even representing the MTV shirt while I'm doing this interview. So I want to thank you so much. And I can't wait to hear from more of the Glow Girls. So last but not least.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Last but not least, any shout outs, anything at all? The floor is all yours.
Well, you can find me at Eileen MTV Glow O'Hara and I think it's Eileen MTV O'Hara on Twitter.
Yes, that's it.
I'm mostly on Facebook. Eileen MTV Glow O'Hara on Facebook and my Melody Trouble Vixen at Outlook.com. Woo, hard to say.
So
thank you. Thank you everybody. Thank you everybody for loving us and supporting us.
From LA, the California, the rock and roll queen. Thank you so much for joining us here today and have a blessed day.
Thank you.
There you go, guys. Another Glow Girl in the books. This has just been a blast. I've been having so much fun having the Glow Girls on. Like, if you guys have not seen the documentary yet, and I almost feel bad because I really wish I was there during the 80s watching all this go on and to kind of, reminisce about this. But you know what? I think they did an amazing job putting that documentary together. I think Netflix did a great job picking out, the Glow storyline, even though it's not the exact thing, kind of hearing some of the girls' stories, there has been some similarities, that I would think, between the tryouts and girls walking out, and, there's obviously no drug robots going around like we were laughing about, but at the same time, I think it's awesome that, they got back together. And I'm not saying that they were ever apart, but to kind of see, the connection that these girls have and how they influence so many young girls to be where they are now in the WWE with the Total Bellas, how many doors, avenues they opened up for so many girls that, were watching wrestling and they're like, they felt a little boyish watching Hulk Hogan or Andre the Giant. And here they have the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. And it's not just the Barbie girls. You also have the bigger girls. And I'm not saying, I'm not saying anything bad, but it made girls feel more comfortable about themselves and give them sort of an identity. And I think Glow did an amazing job representing that in the documentary for people that didn't get to live through that experience. And I'm 29 years old. I just turned 29 on the 14th of June, which is just a couple of days ago, and I cried twice watching this documentary. I'll watch it again. It's so good. It's so good. I can't recommend it any more than I already have. Not only that, guys, but make sure you guys subscribe down below because I'm going to be linking MTV's YouTube channel if you want to check out that web series that they're doing, and also the Afterglow, like we keep discussing. The musical also coming out. Guys, follow Eileen MTV O'Hara at Eileen MTV O'Hara on Twitter. Make sure you're following me at Pure Evil MMA on Instagram or on Twitter, Evil_Echo. Subscribe on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher. You can find all the Pure Evil MMA content at mymmanews.com. Guys, I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA, mymmanews.com. White knuckles to the end. Behave yourselves.